Well, it's clear that having leverage, you will have a better cash on cash return. That's obvious. However, I don't think it's a matter of a black and white debate on it, because the numbers are numbers. That's why there are loans, to help you have better cash on cash return. I think that's why there are loans, but that's one purpose loans serve. The real question is, what type of risk tolerance do you have, and what's your investment philosophy? Because that ties into if you should buy all cash, or if you should if you have a loan and have some leverage, or a third option, have some leverage and then just aggressively pay off the loan. And it's a matter of your risk tolerance. I can tell you that after speaking to people who lost it all in 2008 on my podcast, a lot of those people are now buying houses in cash and not having loans. And they went the complete opposite of what the extreme they're at before. And perhaps there's a middle ground they should be doing, but there's something to be said about being able to rest at night knowing that regardless of what happens, banks don't have anything on me because I own all my properties free and clear. And again, it's not about returns, because that's not a debate. You get better returns with leverage, and the tax benefits because you write off the interest and some other things.
And the mortgage pay down from the actual residence. That's one of my I guess favorite aspects of
right.
They're paying down the loan.
They're paying the loan for you. So there's not a debate on that. It's rather a higher level question of what's your risk tolerance, because there is more risk when you have a lender. I mean, there is. And with that risk tolerance, what do you choose to do? And right now I can tell you, all of our apartment communities obviously have debt on them, a loan on them, because that gets the returns that we need just to return to our investors and to have successful transactions. If we paid all cash for the deals, then we would be making maybe, whatever the cap rate is, right? So 5, 6, 7%, whatever that particular deal is. And that just doesn't work. So we do leverage for apartment communities. For my single family homes, I do have loans on them, but I am wrestling with this question myself on my single family homes. I only have 3 houses, and I could pay them off. I haven't yet, and I don't know if I will or won't. It's financially, it's not a smart decision to pay them off, but from a peace of mind standpoint, it's kind of nice. So that's really the question, and those are the things to think about.
Yeah, something else I'm just thinking of right now, and let me know what you think about this, but if you do also have them paid off completely, and let's say the market is to take some sort of dip, then not only are your properties themselves, safe because you don't have a loan on them, but then you have access to all that equity that when, all the properties around that area, people are potentially getting foreclosed on or can no longer buy those properties. You can take a loan against your property to buy those properties and then get a loan at that point. I guess the fact that you have access to that equity still, that you can, if you need to and you want to take a loan against that, or home equity line of credit, whatever you want to do, you have that option too. Whereas technically you have it if you have a loan, just depending on how much you've paid it down, but you definitely have access to equity if you pay it off completely. So
one asterisk on that would be if the market tanks and you own them free and clear, it'd be more challenging to get a loan on your investment properties. So one thing you could do in that scenario, or planning for that scenario, if you do pay them off but you're thinking about doing that, is talk to a credit union and see if you can get a line of credit and use those free and clear homes as collateral, and do that prior to do that when things are nice and rosy. That way you've got this access to line of credit. Now, the line of credit could disappear at any point in time from the credit union if things go south in the market, but at least you're planning a little bit ahead to leverage that equity without actually tapping into it prior to something bad happening.